Hello everybody, this is Michael Lee with an update on the park fire, sunset of day number 2. Now, the park fire has now grown in excess of 120,000 acres. From my perspective, it's actually much more quiet and peaceful from my property. From my perspective, it looks like the firefighters have the upper hand and the fire's getting smaller, but obviously that's not the case. That's just what it looks like from my property. I wanted to show you some of the lower sections that had me nervous this morning, but now they're smoldering out. See all that smoldering out, and then these low areas here are smoldering out. So, and then it looks like that's where it started, way over there in Upper Bidwell Park, and you can see all of this has burned out. It's just smoldering, and the main action is taking place to the northeast of me, much further into the mountains, higher elevation. So, at least from my vantage point, sunset of day number 2 is much more chill, and I'm not worried at all. God, look at how far look at the cows. Remember from my video from this morning, the cows were over there, and there were some scattered right here close to Rock Creek. Now look at all of them. They're way over there. This is 6,000 acre ranch here, Vina Plain. It's a big volcanic rock cap, and nothing grows out here because it's rock. And then Rock Creek is rocks. It's dry this time of year. But cows are amazing, man. They can just go across 6,000 acres, 105-degree heat like it's nothing to find some greener pasture. Cows are amazing. I've always loved cows. God, they're big, black. You'd think they'd just be exhausted and overheated, but nope, they just keep going. Absolutely amazing. So, in conclusion, I just wanted to review kind of the topography and my reasoning for never evacuating my house and property. When it started yesterday at 4 p.m., I was not in the evacuation zone. The evacuation zone started about 3/4 of a mile that way, but then it grew, and then I was in the evacuation zone, but I stayed. And the reason why I stayed is that this is the Vina Plain, volcanic rock cap. You couldn't drill through this stuff, not by normal means. You couldn't bulldoze this stuff. This is just solid rock out here, and this is Rock Creek. You know, a good 75 feet of volcanic rock there, and then I got my big levee. So think about this. We've got the Vina Plain, solid volcanic rock pretty much. We've got the wind pushing the fire away from me. Then we got this rock, and then we got the levee, and then we got more rock, and this is all rock. Remember I showed you my Donkey Max's territory this morning? This is all rock. Remember I showed you that? This is all rock. Those are big piles of rock right there. And then this is where I irrigate, and this is lush green grass. I'm running my sprinklers. You probably can't see the water. Oh, you can see that one. See, I'm running my sprinklers. I could run more. I could get a whole ring of water all around my house if I wanted to, but there's no need. I have another 300 feet of industrial fire hose and more sprinklers I could put out, but that's no need. I don't even need to be doing this. And I have PVC pipe sprinklers that are dug into the ground, connected to my house spigots that do the side and the front and this side. Right there, that's what I mean by that side right there. So yeah, I could surround my house with a wall of water if I wanted to, because I live in a fire area Anybody that lives in rural California lives in a fire area, so you got to be prepared and to get your shit together so you don't get caught off guard and lose everything you've worked your entire life for. My neighbor's running big sprinklers too. So yeah, that's my reasoning for not evacuating. Plus I got to take care of my donkey Max. Now as far as oh, and then also I have no gates, no barbed wire fencing. It's easy access to the back of my house. So if somehow, I mean, this is just impossible, but just for the sake of argument, if the fire did somehow get across all of that and all of this, then CAL FIRE could just cruise their engines back either way. I got driveways on both sides, and they could just cruise right back here and park. I could even hook them up to my well. They wouldn't need to do that. They got their own water, but I could if they really needed to blast, and they could hook up to my neighbor's well. You know, we would just have a line of fire fighting engines right across here, you know. And so it's just impossible for the fire to get me, so that's why I didn't evacuate. Now, as far as my donkey Max is concerned, what I would do with him, if somehow, just for the sake of argument, a fire got into here, and then my neighbor irrigates too, because he keeps this side of his property on Rock Creek irrigated for his cattle herd. So that's all lush green grass over there. But just for the sake of argument, if somehow the fire got into here, what I would do is I would open up, not this one's too big, but just that one, that ranch gate, and I would just halter my donkey Max and walk him out behind my wall of water. He doesn't like water, so I'd walk him back here first. I could put him in there, but I'd probably just stand with him, hang out, and we could eat carrots together. And then once he's all situated, I could turn on the wall of water, and we would just stand back there eating carrots and having a grand old time. So that's my fire plan. And everyone should have a fire plan if you live in rural California, because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when you're going to get burnt. Okay, it's just part of the ecology and the natural environment of rural California. We burn. Native Americans would actually burn on purpose because they wanted to increase the health and the acorn production of oak woodlands, and they wanted to create meadows so they could attract wildlife, which they could then hunt. You know, I would love to get back to doing a lot more prescribed burns in California, but you know how California is. There's a certain type of people that somewhat have a monopoly on power here, and oh god, they're against even thinning or removing ladder fuels from forests, you know, and doing brush cutting. So convincing them to do prescribed burns is on a whole nother level. But it's changing slowly. It's changing out of necessity, because, you know, what are we going to do? Just allow every single forest in the state of California to burn to the ground before we change our land management policies? You know, we got to get smarter about this. We got to get in there and do some thinning, cut the ladder fuels, brush cutting, do prescribed burns, do burn piles. And that needs to be done just you know, just for the next decade straight. Just, you know, send in the army if we have to. It's got to get done. Sunset, day number 2, park fire. Is there anything else I need to add? No. was hoping a big CAL FIRE plane would drive by, or it would fly by as I'm making this video, but I guess not. They've been coming in and out, fighting the fire all day. It's just been constant helicopters and airplanes all day, dropping water on this thing. Pretty amazing. All right, everybody, stay safe out there.